Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to talk about, well, first off, good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm feeling good. My mind's clear. I just want to start off this morning with a positive video, because sometimes my videos are they're a little bit too harsh. They're brutally honest, and sometimes it don't put me in the right mood when I see how weak society is. It just put me in a bad mood sometimes when I just look at and I see people just smoking cigarettes and just being destructive and crazy. So I'm gonna make a positive video this morning, my first video. And this video is talking about the metamorphosis of life and transforming your life from being vulnerable to being safe and then being free. And see, you have to make yourself vulnerable in some aspects in order to pursue freedom, because you have to come out of your shell. You have to come out of your safe space. See, and you have to make yourself available for the universe to use. So you're not going to be able to do that in your comfort zone, in your safe space. You have to make yourself vulnerable. You have to release a lot of the beliefs that you have. You have to delete a lot of the things that are causing you to doubt yourself. You have to increase your awareness, and when you increase your awareness, you start to see things that are unattractive, that you don't like, that bothers you. You start to see things that you start to question the integrity of people. So that's going to make you vulnerable, because people are going to start trying to attack you. They'll try to bully you, try to manipulate you. When you make yourself vulnerable, you start exposing people, society, for what they are. That's when you make yourself vulnerable, because no one likes to be exposed. No one likes for light to be shed on their schemes and their scams. No one likes for the curtains to be pulled back. No one likes for you to open their closet and see all the skeletons that they have. No one likes that. So when you do those things, when you speak up for yourself, when you speak truth, when you have a voice, you make yourself vulnerable. And it's dangerous, because you risk being alienated, ostracized from your friends and family, because you are speaking outside of their comfort zone also. And they want you to represent the family. They want you to represent the tribe, the team. And when you go outside of those parameters that they have built for you, then you become vulnerable, because now you don't have a team. You don't have a cohort to protect you. See, people like to feel safety. They like to feel secure. They like to have a cohort to protect them from attacks from the matrix or attacks from society, because no one wants to be attacked. That's why it's very hard for people to stand up for themselves. People only stand up in mobs. People act out in mobs, in groups. See, but when you know who you are, and you know that you have the universe on your side, and you speak your truth, you come out of your shell, and you stand on your own with the universe on your side, the universe will protect you. See? And like they always say, The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. So guys, you can't be overly concerned about being comfortable and being safe and secure, because the matrix don't care. The matrix just want to use you. So you have to use the matrix. You have to play reverse psychology. So you have to make yourself vulnerable. You will be exposed out there. You will feel like you're naked at times. You know, because you may not want to participate in all the things that society say you should participate in. You may not want to buy a house. You may not want to work a 9-to-5 job. You may not want to go to college. You may not want to get married. You may not want children. All those things are ways to control you, so you can fit into a society that groupthink. See? And America is built by individuals. You know, and having a family, a team, a tribe, that's a survival mechanism. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. If you want to think different, be different, you want to travel, if you want to move outside the country, if you want to move to Mexico or the Philippines or Thailand, you may not fit in. And there are people like that in this world that just don't fit into the cultural norm. So guys, so don't be afraid to make yourself vulnerable in order to be free. So after you make yourself vulnerable, guys, what you're going to do after that, after you make yourself vulnerable, you're going to go into monk mode. When you go into monk mode, that's when you're going to put yourself in a cocoon where you're safe from the world. And when you're in that cocoon, you're going to study. You're going to minimize your exposure to social media. You're going to build up your internal arsenal, your mental fortitude. You're going to build up the callus of your mind. You're going to make yourself stronger. You're going to morph into who you want to be. But you have to insulate yourself. That's what you have to do, guys. Not only do you have to insulate yourself, you also have to isolate yourself. Isolate means to remove yourself from people, society, things, places, jobs. You have to remove yourself and be in isolation where you can concentrate, you can study, you can focus on those things that are important to you while you're in your metamorphic stage. Insulate is when you take those things and you hold on to them. Take that knowledge, take that information, and you hold on to it. And you make yourself stronger. Just like when you insulate ice in a cooler, that's insulation. You keeping it cold or you keeping it hot. That's insulation. Isolation is when you remove yourself and isolate yourself. That's how they isolate atoms, and when they isolate something to study it. That's how you study something. You isolate and you study it and you observe it. So that's what you want to do yourself. You want to isolate yourself, and then you want to insulate yourself to strengthen yourself. So after you come out of your cocoon, you're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out with the information and the knowledge that you need to withstand the world. Because you're going to still be under attack, but you're going to be free. You're not going to feel vulnerable anymore. You're not going to feel unsafe because you're going to be free. And you're going to know that you can just fly away. You can create distance between you and your enemies. Because now you know that you have options because you've been studying, you've been learning, you've been reading. You've been solidifying your identity, who you are. Now you know who you are. Because when you was vulnerable, you didn't know who you were. Because most of the time we think that we are somebody else. We are our job. We're a son. We're a father. We're a mother. We're a teacher. We're a student. We all these people and these things for the world to identify us. It's terrifying for the world to identify you as a human and just be you. It's more comfortable to be identified as a firefighter, as a teacher. It's more comfortable to be identified as what you do, not who you are. But you need to strive to be identified for who you are as a human being on this earth. It doesn't matter where you're from. People want to know, oh, you from California? I'm from Florida. All these names. Those are just names, guys. Those states don't exist. It don't exist. Those are just names. It's made up. There are no state lines. All that stuff is made up. There are no state lines. So guys, you have to understand that. You need to identify yourself for who you are, not what you do. Unify yourself. It's okay to be a part of a group or whatever, but know who you are as an individual. You don't need that group to validate you. Let me say it again. It's okay to be a part of a group. Once you know who you are, I'm saying know who you are first. If you need to remove yourself from that group and isolate yourself to learn who you are, that's what you need to do. Then when you come out of your cocoon and you're free to think how you want to think, because you may not want to group think and believe everything that group believe in. You may only want to believe in part of it or half of it. And then in another scenario or in another universe, you may believe something else. There's nothing wrong with having multiple beliefs. You can believe in whatever you want to believe in. You can have one belief system in Alaska and another belief system in Miami. Those are two different atmospheres that you're gonna have two different beliefs in. Just like when people say, "Oh, it's cold. I'm cold." Well, cold is different in Florida than in Chicago. Cold in Florida is 60 degrees. Cold in Chicago is 20 degrees. That's what I'm saying. Your belief system change according to where you are, the environment that you're in, what you're used to. So that's something that you have to understand. When you become free, you start to understand that. Oh, I don't have to think like that. Oh, I don't have to believe that. Oh, I have choices. When you're free, when you can fly, you realize there are a million trees you can land on. When you're free, you don't have to land on one tree. You don't have to poop in one area. You can poop in flight. You can get water where you want to get water at. You can eat where you want to eat. you know? So that's what I'm saying. I know who you are outside of the group. We're not animals. What makes us unique is our ability to think outside of the matrix, outside of the algorithm, outside of the programming. That's what makes us unique. So in order to do that, guys, when you're in that cocoon, you have to resurrect your consciousness, because the cocoon represents death. The cocoon represents death. So while you're in that cocoon, you need to resurrect your consciousness, because a lot of people are walking dead. They are walking dead. They're not alive. Their consciousness is not alive. So while you're in the cocoon, resurrect your consciousness. Free your mind from all of the boundaries and fences and locked doors and closed windows and barriers that society have put around you. Resurrect your consciousness. Be conscious, because your subconscious is controlling who you are and how you think, because those programs have been running all your life. The earlier, the sooner you realize that you're programmed, the sooner you can create a plan for your freedom. And you're going to purchase your freedom. You're going to buy your freedom with knowledge, not with money. Money doesn't buy freedom. Money gives you the illusion of freedom. Freedom is in your mind. The knowledge that you have to know that you have choices. And your choices, the ones that you're making now, those choices was given to you. You only think you have a couple. Hold on, guys. See, guys? So you got choices. You may have decisions that you make. According to some sources, adults make between 33,000 and 35,000 decisions each day, including what to eat, what to wear, and what to say. These decisions are made automatically and stimulated and simultaneously based on subconscious information about what is considered good or bad. See what I'm saying? And that's how people make decisions. It's in your subconscious. But once you resurrect your consciousness, you realize that the decision that you thought were yours were not yours. It was a part of your subconscious and how you was raised. See? So that's what it says. It said 95% of cognition occurs in the subconscious mind, and that the brain would short circuit if it had to consider more than 30,000 decisions individually. So those decisions are made, it's in your subconscious. You know, it's in your subconscious. So when you resurrect your consciousness, you realize that you're being controlled and manipulated. And that decision that you made, it's just easier to make that decision. It's just easier to go ahead and smoke a cigarette. Just go ahead and get along. It's just easier. You know, because there's less thinking required on you. So it's just easier to follow the beaten path rather than to take the road less traveled. You know, and that's the comfort zone that people want. They want to be comfortable and safe. And people feel comfortable and safe in groups and packs. Even if that group and that pack is going over a cliff. You know, the people, they will do it. They will do it. You will be amazed on what people will do in a group or a mob. They will do a lot of very dangerous, bizarre, illegal, unethical things as a group or mob. But if you want to be that lone wolf, that eagle flying in the sky, because you know eagles don't hang in groups and packs like crows and pigeons do. Predators, apex predators, most of the time they hunt and live in isolation, guys, alone. Bears, eagles, hawks, owls. Those are apex predators. Cheetahs, apex predators. Mountain lions, apex predators. Lions, they have prides. They may be one, they may be two or three together. That's the females, maybe two together. Most time the male is by himself. The wolf pack running teams, that's part of their survival. But most apex predators are isolationists. They don't hang in packs and groups. They're very territorial. Honey badgers, wolverines. Now, the honey badger made itself an apex predator because it's so ruthless and vicious. But anyway, guys, like I was saying, guys, you know, you have to make yourself vulnerable, get in your safe space, get in your cocoon, resurrect your consciousness. You need to die. You need to kill your old self, resurrect your consciousness, then release yourself as a new mind, with a new mind. Have a new mind and know who you are. Okay, guys, until next time, guys, keep your life clean, keep your car clean, keep your home clean, keep your mind clean, guys, keep your diet clean. Guys, download and deploy your anti-malware software, debug and unplug from the matrix. That's the only way you're going to free yourself, free your mind, free your consciousness. Drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the chemicals, and the poisons that's in the food supply. Guys, you are being poisoned. You're being micro-poisoned every single day. You can't feel it. You've been psyop. You can't feel that either because the program is very subtle and it's continuous and it's updating every second throughout the day. The program is always updating so you can always feel comfortable. But you have to learn to reboot your system. When you go into monk mode, you go into your cocoon, that's when you start your own reboots. That's when you get the downloads from the universe. And you have to do a hard reboot on your system to get the downloads. Because the downloads are not going to, you don't have enough memory for the downloads and the updates from the universe because your brain, your mind is overloaded with so much worldly garbage and too many programs, and they can't run at the same time. So you got to reprogram your mind. Okay, guys. Until next time, guys. Contraband 777. I'm signing off. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.